Now, let us move into the topic called objectives of this operations management or the goals of operations management. Fundamentally speaking, there are only two important objectives are there. The first objective is producing maximum outputs with minimum inputs. Second objective is value enhancement. Apart from these two objectives, there are some other objectives which are directly or indirectly linked with these basic objectives of this operations management. The first objective is to provide the best customer service. What is this best customer service? Nowadays, we are in a tough competitive environment. Every customer is expecting more. Their tastes and preferences are continuously changing. So the modern business houses, they are in search of identifying the best way to fulfill the needs of their customers. See here, providing best service in the sense that the business houses should produce always the modern products. What is this modern products? Modern means what? You know well. The product, every product or every good produced by a business is not a static one. It is always dynamic. The business houses are always interested to do some innovations. They wanted to enhance the utility of their product through adding new features, or like they may do so many things in order to attract the customers, and they wanted to retain their sales for forever until they stays in the market. So the first objective is here, according to our subject, is providing the best customer service. It is obviously it is needed, and moreover, when a customer will satisfy, he satisfies whenever his wants or needs are fulfilled. See, fulfilling the wants or needs depends upon the quality of the product, the utility of the product. The second objective is the effective utilization of available resources. Yes, it is another important objective. Obviously, in order to achieve this objective, every firm is striving a lot. They are finding new ways to utilize the available resources in the most effective way. See, then what are the resources here? Both human and non-human resources. And you know well, they are very limited in nature. Resources means what? The materials. They are very limited. Human resources mean manpower. We are talking about the manpower. See, for example, you take our country. India is world's second largest populated country. Obviously, we thought that there is no any issues with the human resources. But in practical, there are plenty of issues are there with the quality human resources. We are always talk about the quality human resources, not about the quantity. Quality means what? The skills, abilities and knowledge. Availability of these quality human resources is very scarce, very limited in our country. So we should be very careful in picking the right candidate into our organization. After picking the right candidates, we should be very careful in dealing with them. Again, it is a part of the human resource management department. They look over all these things. And number 3, that is to reduce the overall cost of production. Yes, cost. As I told you earlier, the business success depends upon ultimately on two things. The first is on reducing the cost of production and increasing the sales. These two are very important aspects, and these two are, though they are not related with each other, but they play very important role in the organizational success. Cost of production is unavoidable. Every business has to spend certain amount on the production of goods and services, like in buying of materials, or in purchase of machines, or maintenance, whatever it may be, on human resources. See, it is unavoidable. The business has to spend. But here, the operations manager should think consciously. These two are very important, cautiously and consciously. in order to achieve the maximum results. Right? In the sense what? The operations manager should always aim at producing maximum with minimum efforts. How it is possible means it is possible only with this concept. That is every day, every time the operations manager should think about that concising or reducing the cost of production. We need to spend money whenever there is requirement. Right, we have to very cautiously spend the money because money is also a scarce resource again. The next objective is to improve the product quality. Yes. Nowadays in the market you may see a number of products available, including with its alternatives, substitutes. Here we need to understand why the product quality is needed, why it is so important concept. Product quality is a never-ending concept. It goes on. Why? Because whenever if a firm gets a bad name in the market, like they are producing inferior goods, then your chapter is closed. There is no any other scope to survive in the market. Always remember, the customer or market invites only the quality products. Then quality, what is this quality? Quality in the sense what? The business firm should never compromise on purchasing of superior quality raw materials and using or utilizing the superior standard machineries and equipments and with the skilled people. Then only you can expect certain quality of goods and services. And for this we have quality control department. They look over all these activities. And next objective is to fix the time schedule. Time plays a very important role in our operations management. You know well, time is very precious. You can't get back the time. See, here every activity in the operations department is fixed. So they have different schedules. They follow the schedules like based on the raw materials available and the demand which exists in the market. And next is proper utilization of the resources. Again, see here always the subject revolves around this particular concept again and again. Effective utilization of resources. Then what is this effective utilization of resources? Simply, one, avoiding the wastages, and number two, using the resources whenever there is requirement. If there is no requirement, we should not use that resource. It is a strict rule that every operations manager should have to understand. And the last one is materials control. Materials. As you know well, material is raw materials or semi-finished materials, whatever it may be. Materials play very important or crucial role in the operations department. This department survives basically on the availability of required raw material. Because that raw material is brought into the business, that is in the factory location, and they'll start converting the raw materials into semi-finished and finished goods. This is the activity regularly they did in the factory. So here, before buying the raw material, the operations manager generally prepares a budget, inventory budget. He'll prepare the inventory budget. Like he is going to decide in advance how much quantity of material is required. Next, forecasting and scheduling. Yes, it is also important. Forecasting plays a very vital role in the operations department. The operations manager has to forecast. What he is going to forecast? The demand for the product in the market. See, always we should not move with an assumption based on the present demand for the product. In future, the demand conditions may vary. So forecasting here, predictions here plays a very vital role in the materials management. And finally, maintaining the material in the proper conditions. After purchasing the raw materials or materials, those should be properly kept in the godowns in the safest environment. Security is required along with the safety. So all these things are the basic objectives or the subordinative objectives of this operations department apart from our two prime objectives.